Alrighty. Oh, we live. I said, are we live? Are we live, everybody? Are we live into his ass? Alrighty, y'all. Nancy just hit me up and said the verdict is in. So let's see. Will they riot? Will they riot in Louisville? Our boy Reggie is on the ground. So let's get there. Without further ado, let's get there. Oops on the ground.
This nigga right here got a hatchet, man. This nigga got a hatchet. You see what I'm saying? When someone tell you move your camera, they get the wrong person, they throw something at someone. I'm trying to tell you it's a very situation. Look at the hatchet in his hand.
Isn't going to last all night long, Red?
Yeah, I believe that it's going to pick up. There's a lot of people probably in their feelings at home, waiting to the last minute, like I was doing, because I was actually at the room sick. And when I texted everybody, let me know, I was laying down at 11:45. I went to bed at like 2, woke up at 4, feeling sick and weak. And then, you know, I fell off my sleep. I was trying to go back to sleep from like after I ordered breakfast Uber, and I took a shower. And I said, hey, you just lay down right now so you'll feel better by 7 p.m. because ain't nothing going to happen. And then again, I seen the messages I got instantly on my Instagram said, damn, this shit is going down now, Reg, you got to get out. So the shit was going to be at 1:15. I got out the door at 1:05, and I ran from my motel with all this heavy shit on to get there so I can get the fresh start. But anyways, you guys enjoy the stream, man. I'm not, you know, I'm not the one to be a crybaby when I'm not feeling good, but I'm not feeling good. All right, y'all, let's get it. Everyone looking at someone with some... I'm gonna correct my speech a little bit. Yesterday I said there go one of their goons that came to, you know, check me out a little bit. He's a part of the security team. So I just want to say a little different. There goes the guy that you know, gave me the shakedown yesterday to see what I'm about, why I'm here, because that's what his job is doing. That's him right here. That's him right here. It's one of them. So we all good. We done checked in. You feel me? We done checked in with the head of security.
How can I help you out, sir? What do you want, sir? What do you want,
sir? When you see somebody, hey man, you too close to the camera. See, those are the teams that'll run forward. Excuse me.
I hope you get to feel better, big brother.
Yeah, he's part of the team that's gonna run forward to get into the business. There go all the police up front. I think they're gonna scramble to get out of here. I think the police is gonna scramble to get out of here. I just think.
I'll give y'all full screen in a second, y'all. I'm alerting some people. I don't know where everybody is.
I'm not sure. Yeah, thank you. We'll be all right. Let's see what their response are. You know, it takes one person to pull out a gun, present their emotions. Let y'all know the mask I got is a good one. I followed what everybody else had.
All right.
And grabbed it. So I see a lot of people have it.
How much that looking? Nobody.
Well, they're scrambling out the way. That's it.
Lot of help, y'all.
Oh, she's putting up rifle. She's putting up her rifle. She held up to her rifle in the back. She put up her rifle in the back seat. Threw it in the back seat. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
We got shields!
She got a gun on her shoulder, but she got shields.
White people always come prepared.
Hey,
These groups, wherever they are, and I can't put no name on it, whether they Antifas. I heard cowboys yesterday. They came with a goddamn U-Haul for the war. So you actually see they came this way for a strategy. You gotta actually see that they came here for a strategy why they came this street, okay? This shit is really organized. You guys.
All right, let's get it.
You guys, this shit is really organized. I said, like the other dude, why don't you just cut downtown? Well, there were some white people that let them know where they should go.
Just tell them, don't start bitching, cause you make the wrong decision. Don't start bitching if you make the wrong decision.
Look at that bitch's jawline, boy. Uh-oh.
Big ass, boy! So I gotta get ready to fucking die!
All right, y'all, it's going down tonight.
This shit is really working.
It's going down tonight.
They came this way to get those shields.
They better do the right thing. They better get them officers something. It's going down tonight.
Oh, hey, you guys, one favor for me, right? One favor. I'm asking one favor for all you guys, right? Please hit the like button. It brings more people into the stream. Please Share it to your Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It only takes a minute. You can take it down. I'm the same way. I don't like to hit the like button and it saves into my story certain shit. Just hit the like button, and when you're done, remove it. Please share the stream to your platforms. Please, that's all I'm asking. And haters, do your goddamn part and hit that dislike button. Please, you guys, share the stream. Paste, copy the link, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
So we got one person watching. Could be the decision of the decade. Where's everybody at? Hey, what's going on, Lenny?
It's gonna be IROI sticky tonight. Be careful.
Are you ready?
Thank you.
We boots on the ground.
Oh shit, the police pulled up over there down the street to line up. Let me put my other phone in my pocket with all the run I'm doing. It might fall off my clip, you know. I'm not used to having my phones on my clip anyway. The police pulled up.
All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Oh yeah, they pulling up. We boots on the ground.
Hey, yeah. Well, you know, hey, I always appreciate the support. It's never expected, but always appreciate it, all right? Thank you guys for supporting my streams.
Flash of the Titan. Let's get it.
Share the slash.
They want it, chat. Police, how they jumping out, putting on their helmets and grabbing their weapons. They want it, man. This city wants it. Bottom line, when they talk in private, don't back down no more. We already done gave them 12 million. Don't back down no more. We already gave them 12 million. 12 million. Oh no, I got my other one at the room, bro. I would let you use it. Where is that? It's in the room. The hotel. It's too late now, man.
Come on now, Reggie. It ain't about the money. It ain't about the money. Hey, Liz.
I've been sharing nonstop. Thank you for covering this. Please be safe and let me know.
Red said they gave him $12 million. So what?
In a very safe place.
Anybody
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
that lives anywhere, especially in Louisville, Kentucky, they got cops that shoot through doors. How do you feel safe?
They ready. They pulled up. I need to be up in
How
front.
you lay your head down at night, not knowing
I gotta get up to the front, right?
if you're gonna be woken by the sound of bullets whizzing by your head?
Cars pull up. That would have been a nice little look to catch how they pulled up, and that just show you that
That's
this
all I'm
city
at.
is wanting confrontation.
Imagine the smell.
I know. Imagine the smell, because I just farted. I just farted too. I got, oh shit.
Damn, they line up. They ready.
They ready for confrontation. They do believe the
That don't make no sense. They ready. They gonna let them cops go. Look at all them daggone armor guards. They ready.
I'm here to get you guys the content, man. Let me get it up to the front, because I'm missing all of this stuff. Oh, whoa. Put that motherfucking hands down!
You said he shot the cop. Cops shouldn't be there.
Oh, he blocked off the rep.
Cops shouldn't be there. These people own that city. They pay their taxes. The cops should get the F out the way. They taxpayers. They pay for them buildings. They pay for them police officers. They pay for them guards. How can people that they pay shoot them? Answer that question. They paid for all that. Everything that's on their body, the helmets, everything. These people paid for it out of their taxes. How you gonna tell them what to do? How are you gonna stop them? If they wanna tear down the courthouse, if they wanna tear down the monuments, they paid for them. You can't tell them nothing. You stupid idiot. You can't tell them nothing. They paid for that shit. I'm so sick of this daggone crazy ass white people saying the stupid shit up their mouth. They pay for all that shit. Every one of those cops work for them people. If they want to tear up their own stuff, let them tear it up. They paid for it. Shut up and get out the way. If they want to turn that police car over, they paid for it. Now somebody hands for that. They paid for that stuff. You can't tell somebody what to do with their own stuff. That's the problem why we ain't got no stimulus check yet. Because the Republicans are trying to tell us what to do with our own money when we pay them. Y'all gotta realize the government, you pay for the government. The government don't pay you. They don't give you nothing, they give you your own money. And got you thinking that they blessing you with something. That's your money. But they not managing your money. Are they managing your money? They got a $4 trillion debt. But if you go in debt, they lock you up for not paying your taxes. You don't pay your property taxes, they take your house. Well, they managing our money and they $4 trillion in debt. Why we can't go lock up Nancy Pelosi? Why we can't go lock up Donald Trump? Why we can't go roll up on Steve Mnuchin? Why we can't go roll up on Bitch McConnell? They fucked our money up. Why we can't go get them? But they'll come get us. Change your thinking. Change your thinking. I don't agree with rioting, but God darn it, if they hitting state buildings, that's public property, they paid for it. Private businesses, no. But if they want to tear down statues, if they want to tear down courthouses, they paid for it. Take the money they give you and rebuild it. But you ain't got no right to go stop them. That's their stuff. They pay taxes on that. They paying your salary. They pay you and you gonna hit them with mace and rubber bullets. Somebody you pay. Tell me how that makes sense. The police work for them. They the boss. If they want to burn the whole city down, as long as it's public property, they should be able to do it. They paid for it. If they didn't pay for it, the parents paid for it. If their parents didn't pay for it, the grandparents paid for it. But either way, the grandparents had to do without because you were taking money out their house to pay for that stuff. The parents had to do without because you took taxes and paid for that stuff. They could have bought some shoes or something. And these kids are getting their taxes taken out. So they want to go out there and march, let them go march. They on the street, they pay for that street. And look how raggedy it is. What they doing with the money? They're on raggedy sidewalks and streets. What they doing with the money? They ain't managing our money, but they want to tell us what to do. No, you work for us. We don't work for you. We your boss. Y'all got it twisted. George Bush took advantage of them scared people. Oh, we got terrorists. We got to take all your rights away because of the terrorists. You want to stop the terrorists? Let the people go get them. Stand back and let the people get them. You want to take our rights? You want to take our guns? Make us totally dependent on you. And then you screw us over. Do the right thing and give these cops some time. Whether you agree with what the woman was doing, they killed her for no reason. They committed murder. They deserve to die. I mean, go to jail. She did not deserve to die. If you shoot somebody, they're going to give you 20 years. If I shoot somebody, they're going to give you 20 years. They should at least get 5. Everyone that fired a bullet that went through her body should get 5 years, at least, or more. It should be 20. But we understand how the system works. We'll settle for 5. And if they don't do it, they saying F you to the people. So the people should go out there and do what they can do. Tear the place up. I don't disagree with it. Your bosses are walking the street and telling you what they want their employees to do. And if you don't listen, deal with the consequences. They telling you what they want. They are telling you what they want. No justice, no peace. If you're not going to give them justice, then you can't get mad. You got to be ready. But the last thing you should do is put your hands on them. Because you work for them. We should be able to lock up these people. We should be able to lock them up. How come we can't lock the police up? Why can't we lock up the politicians? They can lock us up, but we pay them. We pay them. They don't put no money in our pocket. People in Canada getting $2,000 a month for 6 months. That's $12,000. It's taking them 5 months to give us $1,200. Man, screw the government. Can't give us no stimulus. Won't close the borders. At least give us a good decision in this case. Can you do that? Because obviously the cops can't stop. They can't stop. You figure with the George Floyd, they stopped. With the Rashard Brooks, they stopped. You figure they would stop. The Robert Blake, you figured they would stop. The Mexican man, you figured they would stop. Still doing it. Now everybody need to get together and stop paying taxes. Get together and stop paying taxes. So they willing to do what you want them to do, you shouldn't give them a dime. It's not enough jail space to lock you up. And when they take you in that courtroom, you tell them, I don't feel I should give you any money. Look, you $4 trillion in debt. How you gonna tell me how to manage my money when you ain't managed my money? Would anybody like to discuss that? Anybody want to talk about that? How they gonna get you for tax evasion? How they gonna get you for not paying something when they not paying their debts? We $3 or $4 trillion in debt to other countries. They not managing our money. Let that marinate. Y'all just overlook it. They not managing the money you give them. But if you don't manage your money that you give to them, they gonna come take everything and lock you up. Put a freeze on your bank account. Sell everything in your daggone house. Why can't we go kick in Mitch McConnell's door and sell everything in his house? Now you said not wanting to draw a prison term. They can't lock us all up. There ain't no room in the prison. All you gotta do is ask them, you ain't taking care of our money. Why should I give you any more? Get rid of the deficit. Why do we owe money? We the richest country in the world. You got $93 billion to give to millionaires, but you got a $3 trillion debt. Somebody talk to me. I'll listen. I'll listen. Anybody? Anybody want to step in the ring? See, this is what's different. You get to watch Reggie, but you get to have an animated conversation. You get a 2-in-1 when you come in. He said the Jump Out Boys. I ain't heard that since The Wire. I had the Jump Out Boys. Let me turn the volume up a little bit. Don't nobody want to talk.
For people to get those shields out of that U-Haul. That was organized.
Don't nobody want to talk. Y'all full of stuff.
If you ain't been there to go visit, you're missing out. If you ain't been there to go visit, you're missing out.
They said it's not a parade.
Y'all take an effort for everyone that's donating their links to go check them out. But again, remind you guys that I hate that in the movement of this, people don't hear well, or they don't see the screen that enough time. So make sure you just put your links in the description in the channel.
That's a lot of people. The people have come out. They're ready to voice their opinion.
Uh-oh, someone said make way for the white outliers. There they come. If they're going into the next city, the next jurisdiction, on the news this morning said every surrounding jurisdiction to Louisville is ready. So when they cross into another jurisdiction that ain't that well secure with law enforcement, how they have it downtown, the other places are on standby and they know to oh, this damn bulletproof vest is heavy as hell.
Well, Reggie, it's gonna come in handy, buddy. Don't cry about it. It's gonna come in handy. Come on, y'all. 7 of y'all here. We only got 2 likes. Hit the like button.
What do you call a cow with legs? Brown legs.
That sound kind of like a cash app notification. I always think, yeah, I'm gonna get the cash.
It is. Yeah, where I come from, when y'all seen that little incident, when I looked, because I didn't know.
Uh-oh, here we go with the bull crack.
You can tell in the gesture of the white boy, he threw it. But it's just like where I come from, how we used to on the streets, real recognizes real. Now, I quickly turned my mind around and said that that was me, and I would throw that bottle at that reporter and seen that I hit it like somebody that's real from that life out here. You can tell that they real. Then he looked me in his eyes. I was
go to settings.
Like, my bad,
what are we running under?
And that part.
Yeah, we doing 1280.
Man, who do it?
Output. What's the output? All right, let's change it. 2950. Must be a lot of people online right now. All right, that's all we can change.
What I like to see is the white boy press.
All right.
When they're here
and we are back.
No one's attacking them no more. It started off kind of shabby, where even this dude was hanging around the corner. Both of them, you remember?
All righty, y'all. Give me 1 second. Go ahead, it's fixed. Ain't nothing going on.
And I just don't believe.
Here it comes.
I might
make no damn sense.
But I just don't believe any of these people that are here trying to, bring the news to the world should be attacked. So in Kenosha, Wisconsin, the white boys, even CJ was attacked and threw bricks at and ran up. Are you the police? So I like to see when
Job is get a job.
I love seeing when the white guys are out here to able to do their job without getting abused. Hey, you guys, welcome. Everybody's enjoying the stream. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button, share your Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I believe it's going to be a long night. I have 2 battery packs worth $20. I have 2 battery packs, each of them.
Virtual Ruth donated $15. Shout out to him, Bra. You're a man. We love you.
ISSAFIXIT, man. I'm a real frontline. You can Google my name. I'm a real frontline. Dead ass.
Give me one more shout out just in case they didn't hear you.
You know what I'm saying? It's for fix it. $, that's for him.
This might be the most played keyboard as well in the past 2 decades.
I got Google my name.
All right, brothers. Yeah, Red. Yeah, from LA. Los Angeles. South Central.
Just came back from San Jose.
San Jose side again. What's up, bro?
What's the name from? They went to Santa Cruz. Black Panther. Yeah, right. Always. saying?
Yeah,
No, we tripped though.
Right. Y'all hitting the goddamn donation thing so much. Y'all gonna have me out here getting robbed. Y'all hitting the donation.
Why you crying, man?
So
Shit.
much, y'all gonna have me
Well, somebody was hitting my donation link like that. Shit.
They got to get back to the inner city. A lot of people don't know where they at. Just let y'all know where they at, just in case you're watching, trying to get to this place like I did yesterday. They're on Kentucky and Princeton. Because the crowd is kind of not so big that the police is
he said that complaining.
The protest.
I wish my donation
so
link would get hit like that.
And some people are probably lost on it. Pretty sure there's a lot of people that started running out their door, getting ready, trying to get with their next of kin, cousins, homies to come.
I didn't hear this phone ring.
They can't find them. So they watching the stream. They are on Kentucky Street and Preston Street.
Human Manders donated $5. We protect U.S. No justice, no peace.
Hold on, y'all. Let me get the phone for him.
This location, this intersection is Preston Street, Kentucky Street. Oh yeah, it's all good. It's all good, brother. Yeah. I'm good.
Robert Amos did nothing wrong.
It's just when they made eye contact with me and know that, I kind of not just a regular person. Hey, my bad. If I would have did it back in my young life, I would have been trying to hit a real. Oh, my bad.
I'm independent too.
Right. Okay. Good luck. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you too. Yeah, Reg Incognito on YouTube. It's Reg Incognito on YouTube. Yeah. Right. You see, the crowd ain't really that big. In fact, the police is back there. Army of police. I tell you what happened yesterday, bulletproof vest I got on, and it's like suffocating my organs as they were sweating, and I didn't have no water, so that's probably what gave me the fatigue shit this morning, and like a little sign of like fatigue this morning. So, and I'm still sweating up under it right now, but at least it's not up under my shirt. So I think that's what it was. From what I'm told, your pores, you have pores for a reason, right? Pores help your system breathe. Your organs, your heart, liver, and kidneys. That's why I heard we have like pores. When I become a famous YouTuber, I'm gonna have something like this. Not a famous, successful YouTuber. I have something like that. I need one, bro. We got water! Water! Justice for Breonna! You can't stop the revolution! 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 You can't stop the revolution!
Skip this video if you're not interested in awesome tracking technology for your vehicle fleet. Tiny devices like these let you track your vehicle using only a smartphone or desktop.
What happened? He ended the video? What are you doing? Well, special report. Let's go.
here why, if Detective Cosgrove filed a fatal shot, why he or any were not charged with anything more serious. Again, the Attorney General putting forth the case that officers were acting in self-defense and that the shooting was justified. But again, Lester, with the city of Louisville now in a curfew tonight, authorities are hoping that these protests don't turn violent. Lester?
No, don't be hoping.
Yeah, Gabe, thanks. There's a lot to work through. We know we'll have your reporting, of course.
Give the people what they want.
NBC Nightly News. Continue our coverage of this story. For now, I'm Lester Holt. Again, throughout the day,
people what they want.
MSNBC. I'll see you later on Nightly. For now, I'm Lester Holt in New York. Good day, everyone.
What are you doing? I pressed the play button. What are you doing?
This is an NBC News special report. Here's Lester Holt.
Good day, everyone. We're coming on the air with breaking news from Kentucky in the case of Breonna Tayler, the 26-year-old emergency room technician shot and killed by Louisville police back in March during a raid in her home. We're getting the announcement now of the grand jury's decision whether to press forward with charges against the officers involved. Let's listen.
In the matter of Commonwealth of Kentucky versus Brett Hanks,
They better do the right thing.
Jefferson County grand jury charges.
Man, come on.
Count 1. Wanton endangerment in the first degree. On or about March 13th.
Why the OBS doing this? They wasn't doing it before. Why are they doing it now?
The above named defendant, Brett Hankison, committed the offense of wanton endangerment in the first degree when, under circumstances manifesting extreme indifference to human life, wantonly shot a gun in the apartment occupied by initials. Count 2. Wanton endangerment in the first degree. On or about March 13th, 2020, Jefferson County, Kentucky, the above named defendant, Brett Hankison, committed the offense of wanton endangerment in the first degree when, under circumstances manifesting extreme indifference to human life, wantonly shot a gun into the apartment occupied by initials N. Count 3. Wanton endangerment in the first degree. On or about March 13th, 2020, the Jefferson County, Kentucky, above named defendant Brett Hankison committed the offense of wanton endangerment in the first degree when, under circumstances manifesting extreme indifference to human life, wantonly shot a gun into an apartment occupied by initials F against the peace and unity of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Mr. Foreperson, is that the decision of the grand jury? Thank you. Sir, if you would please randomly select a number. Division 13. Thank you, sir. Then be assigned to Jefferson Circuit Court, Division 13. Madam Assistant Attorney General, do you have a motion with respect to bond?
The General asks for $15,000 full cash bond to the defendant Brett Hankison.
I will grant the motion and sign bond in the amount of $15,000 full cash. The warrant. That concludes the business of the grand jury sitting for Jefferson County, September 2020. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be excused. Going off the record.
All right, we've been watching the judge in Louisville, Kentucky, announcing the grand jury's decision regarding the Breonna Tayler case, a woman shot to death in her own home during a police raid. It appears only one of the 6 officers who was involved in that operation has been charged. Let's go to Gabe Gutierrez right now in Louisville. Gabe, walk us through what just happened.
Hey there, Lester. Well, we're just starting to get reaction here. We're at Jefferson Square Park in downtown Louisville, and the decision is starting to trickle in, but I want to point out what just happened. There were 3 officers here that were under investigation as part of these proceedings. One you just heard from right there, Detective Brett Hankinson. Significant because he is the only one of those 3 officers that had previously been fired. In his termination letter, the police wrote that he had wantonly and blindly fired into one of the apartments. So he was appealing his termination, but it appears that the grand jury, the only officer that the grand jury has returned an indictment on, has been Brett Hankinson for the lesser charge of wanton endangerment. Prosecutors had said that he had fired not just Breonna Taylor's apartment, but another apartment as well. And according to the police chief in his termination letter, that did not follow use of force policy in the Louisville Police Department. The other 2 officers that were part of this investigation, Sergeant John Mattingly and Miles Cosgrove, they remain employed by the department. They are still on paid administrative leave. Lester, what's significant here is that we did not hear any charges against those 2 officers. As part of all this, and part of a broader context here, the Breonna Taylor case has really set this community on edge for more than 6 months. There have been more than 100 days of protests where many of the protesters have been asking for murder charges in this case. You discussed the details of this. This was a botched raid back in March of this year, and this case got national and even international attention, especially following the death of George Minneapolis. Her name, Breonna Taylor's name, has become a rallying cry for social justice protests across the country. It's important to note that Breonna Taylor's family was asking for second-degree manslaughter charges against these officers. They were not going so far as to go to ask for murder charges here because even the family realized that, in their words, it would be a long shot to get a murder charge in this case because of Kentucky's self-defense laws, which would allow potentially an officer to fire back. The police have insisted from the beginning here, and the police union has reiterated this, that they feel the shooting was justified because Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, had fired upon the officers first, and that the officers, according to the police union, only returned fire once they were fired upon. But again, the significance here, Lester, only 1 officer has been charged by the grand jury, a charge of wanton endangerment that is less than what the family have been asking for. 2 other officers, it appears, here will not be charged, and we're now awaiting comment from the Kentucky Attorney General in the next few minutes. Lester?
Gabe Gutierrez, thank you. NBC News legal analyst Danny Ceballos is here. Danny, walk us through this process now and these charges. 3 counts of first-degree wanton endangerment. Looking at the range of potential charges, where does this fit in?
On the low end, wanton endangerment is a Class D felony. It involves not an intentional act, but something manifesting an extreme indifference to human life, something incredibly dangerous and arguably knowingly dangerous. But it is a Class D felony in Kentucky, which I understand only calls for 1 to 5 years imprisonment, and then potentially the opportunity for what we call pretrial diversion. And, you know, across the country, pretrial diversion is basically your one free.
So, where you at, Naya?
Significant prior record, then you.
Remember, you said the police are being charged.
That could keep you out of prison.
They only charge 1 cop.
Cases, another lower level type
Where you
misdemeanor
at?
felony. So, in the grand spectrum,
They only charge 1 cop.
in this case, this is arguably on the lower end. It is a felony, but it is a Class D felony, and looking at a maximum of 5 years.
Where you at, dear?
Given the fact the grand jury took a pass on the other 2 officers, what does that tell you about any potential case that might have come against them? Was that going to be a more difficult mountain to climb?
This was always a difficult case, but Hankinson appeared to be.
I'm confused. What is going on here? Why?
Because there were reports already that he had fired, and I'm quoting wildly, into the apartment. But in this case, there was always going to be a challenge due to what's called castle doctrine. The idea that as long as somebody is lawfully standing where they stand, they can use force to defend themselves. It gets very tricky with police, and this is why so few grand juries end up indicting police officers who shoot unarmed civilians, because police are the one segment of our society that is authorized to go on the offensive, to execute a warrant, to come into your home and lay hands upon you. So you have that competing kind of castle doctrine where you have somebody in their home who believes they're being assaulted or that they're being burgled. and on the other hand, the police who have a warrant that is at least ostensibly lawful. And again, even if it's ultimately proven to be a warrant that is not based on good information, as long as the police relied on it in good faith, they may be protected. So the bottom line is it is very, very difficult to charge police in cases like this.
All right, Danny, thank you. We're standing by for a news conference from the Attorney General of Kentucky with a bit more texture regarding what's happened. But I want to go to Jonathan Capehart now, an NBC News political contributor. Jonathan, what message does this decision send, and how could it impact voters?
Well, Lester, I think the message that it sends is that justice is hard to come by if you're African American and dealing with law enforcement. I think Danny laid out the legal issues just right. I think anyone who has been paying attention to other cases like this, it is extremely difficult for the police to be held accountable in a way that communities would like them to be held accountable for, because of the way laws are written, because of the power that police have. I think in Louisville, the city's been getting ready for days now for what could come down from the grand jury. And I think now it is incumbent upon community leaders, elected officials, to the community, to talk to them, explain what's going on, and to also make it clear that the better way to honor Breonna Tayler is to demonstrate, make your voices heard, but to do so in a way that doesn't give other people excuse to do damage or to mar her memory.
Jonathan, thank you. An NBC News political analyst and Washington Post columnist Eugene Robinson joins us now. Eugene, obviously it's been a summer of outrage over interactions between African Americans and police. This particular case, however, was unique in its circumstances. An innocent person in their home suddenly confronted with police officers firing into that home. You could argue this transcends a lot of the other issues, and it's something that would strike a note with anyone.
I want to hear what y'all got to say. Wait, whoa. Is he back live? Oh, his video got removed.
This video, if you're...
It got removed? Hold on a second, y'all. His video got removed? I know YouTube ain't take our boy off. Now, come on. Is he back on yet? Let me check my with your comments. They live. I don't have permission to play them. What's it? He live right now? All right, now you posted a link. Nancy girl. Posted a link too. All right, Nia was first. Nice. And we'll get Snazzy's. Is it showing it? Yeah, it's showing. Okay. Ex-officer Brett Hankerson indicted in connection with Breonna Taylor's death. A former Louisville police officer has been indicted by a grand jury on 3 counts of wanton endangerment in the first degree in connection with the fatal shooting of Breonna Taylor. The long-awaited charges against former officer Brett Hankerson were immediately criticized by demonstrators who had demanded more serious counts and the arrest of the 3 officers involved in the March shooting. The other two officers, Sergeant John Manley and Detective Miles Cosgrove, were not charged following months of demonstration. The findings of the grand jury probe into the fatal police shooting announced by Kentucky's Attorney General. Hey, what are you doing? Right, actually play that. I'm reading. He called the Taylor's death a gut-wrenching emotional case where the pain is understandable. Demonstrators at a makeshift memorial to Taylor in downtown Louisville called for Cameron to step down after the charges were announced in court and the former detective bond was set at $15,000. The charge will come more than 6 months after Taylor, a 26-year-old black EMT and aspiring nurse, was shot to death by Louisville police officers in her home. The officers broke down the door to her apartment while executing a late-night no-knock warrant in a narcotics investigation on March 13th. The grand jury was to present its report to the Jefferson County Circuit Judge Annie O'Connell at 1:15 p.m., according to a statement from the administrative office of the courts. Cameron's news conference is scheduled for 1:30 p.m. Depending on the grand jury's findings, Cameron's options range from declining to prosecute to charging one or more officers. Louisville has prepared for the possibility of unrest from the decision. For months, protesters have criticized the length of the investigation and demanded the arrest of all officers involved. Anticipating new protests, Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher and Louisville Interior Police Chief Robert Schroeder Wednesday afternoon announced a 72-hour countrywide curfew starting at 9 p.m. Government buildings will be closed. The Kentucky National Guard has been activated, Schroeder said. I urge everyone to commit once again a peaceful, lawful response, like we've seen here for the majority of the past several months, Fisher said. The city and the police department had already declared states of emergency and set up barricades, restricting vehicle access to downtown areas. Stores and restaurants have boarded up their windows. Some federal buildings closed for the week. Prosecutors started gathering on Wednesday morning, hours before the expected announcement. Taylor's death set up outrage across the country. Chance of say her name, calls to arrest the officer, and a renewed focus on the black woman killed by police. Her story gained wider attention during nationwide demonstrations that followed the late May killing of George Floyd at the hands of Minneapolis police. Cameron, the first black person to hold a post and a Republican rising star, was made a special prosecutor in the case in May. Yeah, they put the token black in there. And the FBI opened an investigation as well. A day after the grand jury convened, one officer who fired into Taylor's home, Sergeant Jonathan Mattingly, sent a mass email to the department early Tuesday defending his actions and slamming the leader's leadership. In June, Detective Brett Hankerson was fired for wantonly and blindly firing into Taylor's apartment. Louisville police said 6 officers involved in the incident are under internal investigation. The Louis Metropolitan Police said on Tuesday. The city of Louisville announced on September 15th a historic $12 million settlement of the family wrongful death suit. The city also agreed to enact police reform, which includes using social workers to provide support on certain police fronts and requiring commanders to review and approve search warrants before seeking judicial approval. High force entry raid has deadly outcome. Police believe Taylor was home alone when she was, in fact, accompanied by her boyfriend, who was legally armed, according to a CNN review of the shooting. That miscalculation, along with the decision to press forward with the high-risk forced entry raid under questionable circumstances, contributed to the deadly outcome. Taylor's ex-boyfriend was the actual focus of the narcotics investigation that led officers to execute the warrant on her apartment where no drugs were found. Police said a man was shipping drugs to Taylor's apartment to avoid detection of a trafficking ring, according to a police affidavit for a search warrant, which is obtained by CNN. The search warrant authorized police to search Taylor's apartment, 2 vehicles, and 3 people, including Taylor, and to seize, among other things, drugs and drug paraphernalia, money, safes, weapons, documents, and computers. The warrant did not specifically connect Taylor to any alleged drug activity, and Taylor's family and their attorney have maintained that she was not involved in her ex-boyfriend's alleged drug trade. Taylor was sleeping next to her boyfriend, Kenneth Walker, in the early hours of March 13. When they both heard a noise, they both got up and walked to the door. She yelled at the top of her lungs, and I am too at this point. Who is it? We called Walker, her boyfriend. No answer, no response, no anything. Walker told investigators when he heard banging at the door, it first thought it was Taylor's ex-boyfriend. He was concerned there might be trouble, so he grabbed his gun. As Walker and Taylor made their way down the hallway toward the front door, Walker said the door flew off its hinges. So I just let off one shot, he said. I still can't see who it is or anything. As the officers used the battering ram to enter, Mattingly was shot in the leg, clearing his femoral artery, told investigators. He and two other officers, Hankinson and Detective Miles Crosgrove, then discharged their weapons, according to the CNN review. Taylor was killed in the barrage of shots from the three officers. Walker, who was unharmed, dialed 911 and told the dispatcher someone had kicked in the door and shot his girlfriend. Officer accused of blindly firing 10 shots. Louisville police officers Miles Crosgrove, Brett Hansigan, and John M. Mattingly. Hannigan was fired by Louisville police chief for his role in the shooting. Mattingly's attorney told Todd McCurdy defended his client's conduct. Sergeant Mattingly was following orders of superior officers, was not involved in the planning process of the arrest, and at times followed established police procedures, McMurtry said. That's the lawyer. Walker was arrested and 6 days later indicted for the attempted murder of the police officer. Louisville area's top local prosecutor later agreed to have the indictment against Walker dismissed. The chaotic police operation that night was exacerbated by Hankinson, who was accused by his own department of blindly firing 10 rounds into Taylor's apartment from an outdoor patio. Hankinson has since been fired and is appealing his being fired. His attorney, David Leitney, has declined comment. Schroeder, the Interior Police Chief, wrote in the June letter that Hankinson violated standard operating procedures when his action displayed an extreme indifference to the value of human life when he wantonly and blindly fired 10 rounds in the Taylor's apartment. Some rounds reached an apartment next door, endangering 3 lives in that apartment, Schroeder wrote. The chief called the officers' conduct a shock to the conscience. The officers were not wearing body cameras, police said. Schroeder wrote that Hankinson was disciplined in January 2019 for reckless conduct that injured an innocent person. He gave no other details. Lawsuits and legislation burned Breonna's name. The Louisville City Council in June passed Breonna's law, which banned no-knock warrants and requires officers serving such warrants to wear body cameras. Taylor's family filed the wrongful death lawsuit 2 months after a killing, claiming charges of battery, wrongful death, excessive force, negligence, and gross negligence. The lawsuit asserted that Taylor was shot at least 8 times, and announcing $12 million settlement, Fletcher, the Louisville mayor, said the city is not admitting wrongdoing. But then why'd you pay the money if you're not admitting anything was wrong? I can't imagine Ms. Palmer's pain, Fish said, referring to Taylor's mother. I'm deeply sorry for Breonna's death. Taylor described her relative as a hardworking, goal-oriented young woman who placed an emphasis on family, had been working as a certified medical technician at the time of her death. Walker has also filed suit saying he lives in constant fear since he was arrested wrongfully, he claims, for allegedly shooting one of the Louisville officers. LMPD has declined comment, citing the ongoing investigation and pending investigation. Walker said in the $10.5 million suit, he was maliciously prosecuted for firing a single bullet with his licensed firearm at assailants who broke down the door after midnight at March. A portrait of Taylor was featured on the cover of... Oh! Stop. This man, Kenneth Walker, if he hadn't fired the gun, none of this would be happening. And he did shoot a police officer in the leg. Now, the officer that fired the 10 shots through the patio door, he deserved to go to jail. But if you shoot at me through a door, I'm gonna shoot back. You don't know what's on the other side of that door. It could have been somebody asking for help. It could be kids asking for help because the father beating the mother and you shot a bullet through the door. You could have killed the kid. Suppose somebody was walking by on the street, could have shot him. You trying to get $10 million? Your behavior is just as reckless as the officer that fired from the patio. You should be sitting right next to him. He should be sitting right next to that officer. Anybody have a comment on that? Liz said it seems he was copyrighted. No, I think something that the people were saying made YouTube nervous and took them down. That's what I'm thinking. The man trying to get $10 million. He the reason that woman got killed. And then he gonna sit there and shoot at them and then duck in the bedroom and call the police. And left her out there to take all them bullets by herself. And he won $10 million. He ought to be sitting next to the one cop they did charge. The thing they charged the cop with is exactly what Kenneth Walker did. They charging him for firing recklessly through the patio door. Kenneth Walker fired recklessly through the front door. The officer fired 10 times. Kenneth fired once. But both of them fired recklessly. So not only does Kenneth Walker get off, because the other two, they both do 4. They didn't do the 4th one. The other 2 raids, they went there and got the people. Why is that? Because they didn't shoot back. So why is Breonna dead? Because Kenneth Walker shot blindly through the door. How does this man who started this, how does he not only get over and not go to jail for shooting a police officer in the leg through a door? He didn't know who he was shooting at. But then, isn't that why she dead? So you telling me that they did raids on the other 2 places, didn't nobody die? Why? What's different between the other 2 raids and the thousands of raids that go on every day? What's different between that raid and this raid? 2 people fired irresponsibly. You can't blame the officers on the other side of the door because Kenneth Walker fired on them. Now, you could say that they should have took cover, but in the heat of the moment, I can understand. If you shoot at me, I'm going to shoot back. If I got a gun, I understand that. But the man shooting through the patio door, he don't know who he's shooting at, don't know what's going on. That's the reason why he is indicted. That's the reason why he was fired. So Kenneth Walker did the same thing. He fired through a door. He didn't know what was going on. Why ain't he indicted? Why is he trying to get money? Now you said 2 different scenarios. It is 2 different scenarios. Because at the other 2 trap houses, didn't nobody shoot. They came, knocked on the door, whatever. Hey, man, you got us. But not Kenneth Walker. Kenneth Walker opened fire. Not even knowing what he was shooting at. Now, the officer that was indicted by the grand jury, he shot from the patio. He wasn't at the front door. And he fired 10 rounds off, and he didn't know what he was shooting at. That's why I say they both should be sitting there side by side. Both of them shot and didn't know what they were shooting at. So you saying two different stories you cannot compare. You can go by logic. I showed you a story the other day where they were talking about in Chicago, they were doing all these raids. Talking about the little kids being handcuffed outside. You didn't hear nobody getting shot. What's the difference? Those people didn't shoot at the police. Don't excuse that. Don't overlook that. That was something very stupid that Kenneth Walker did, and he needs to be held accountable for it. Don't let him roll over. Well, no, they had to charge somebody. Somebody had to be the fall guy. And that cop was the fall guy. But I want to know, how does Kenneth Walker not only get away with shooting a cop in the leg, which if you or I did it, we wouldn't even make it to the trial because they've been and killed us on the way. But this man not only is free, but he filed a lawsuit for $10 million. He gonna get money. He gonna get money off that woman's death. Now I said, had they followed policy, none of it would have happened. I'm not disputing the police involvement, Naya. They are wrong. But I'm saying, if that man wasn't there, Kenneth Walker, it wouldn't have ended this way. And that's the point you missing. She hadn't had that man in that house, it wouldn't have went that way. Why was that man afraid that it was her ex-boyfriend? And he went and grabbed his gun. These are things, when you add them all up, how did this happen? What made this different? From all the thousands of arrests that go on, all the busts, the drug busts that go on throughout the country every day, what made this one different? Kenneth Walker reaction, and the reaction that the cops did to Kenneth Walker. That's what made it different. Because we saw the videos where the little kids said they came in and they had the guns to our heads. They didn't get shot. What was the difference? That's not no excuse for you to shoot. You don't know who it is. You've never heard until you see the white of their eyes. Waco was a disgrace. You talking about the Davidians? That was a disgrace. What them officials did in that was a disgrace. You keep saying you can't compare the two incidents. Why you can't? The other two places didn't have no problem. Didn't nobody fire no gun at the police. That's why there wasn't no problem. So there is a comparison. The comparison is the actions of Kenneth Walker. The actions of the cop in response that's shooting through the patio blindly. We don't know how many of them 10 shots hit Breonna, but she got hit 8 times. And he fired 10 shots. They're not apples or oranges. If Kenneth Walker was not there, if Kenneth Walker did not fire that gun, Breonna Tayler would still be alive. Are you going to sit here and deny that? If he was not at her house, and if he had not fired that gunshot and shot that officer, Breonna Tayler would still be alive. Are you going to deny that? He was hit 8 times. We know that officer fired 10. How many times he hit her? We'll never know. But that's why he need to be sitting in jail. But the man who started it, why he not sitting in jail? Is my question. You said you're going by the facts. Well, okay, explain. All right, you want to go by the facts? I already said he fired 10 rounds. We don't know if all his hit, but if all his hit, he is indicted. Why isn't Kenneth Walker indicted? Well, I keep asking you. How this coward that shot and hit a police officer and then dove in the bedroom and dialed 911. And we know it's from the bedroom because the gun he had was found on the bed. So he left her out there in the hallway to take them bullets. He dove in the bedroom. That's a coward. Why you didn't drag her along? So we don't know which ammunition was responsible, but we do know that Kenneth Walker shot a police officer in the leg. That we know. And they fired back. If you out with your friends and you got a gun on you and somebody shoot one of your friends in the leg, you're going to pull that gun out and shoot back. So I can't put too much heat. They still should have took cover and look at the situation. But I can kind of understand how the cops at the front door shot back. But this man shot through the daggone side of the patio. Come on, man. That bullet didn't come that way. What is he shooting for? And he sat there and let off 10 shots. That's why he's sitting down there. I understand. But I'm asking you, why is Kenneth Walker not sitting down there next to him? That's what I'm asking. No, it's not redundant. Let's stick with the facts. If she was not the bookie for the cartel, they wouldn't have been in the house. If she was not so loose, her 2-month-old boyfriend wouldn't have been in her damn bed. Let's stick with the facts. It was the man that she had in her house that fired on the police and got her killed. Now, where do you want to go from there? Let's listen. Let's listen. Charges was dropped on the other 2 officers too. What's your point? The other 2 officers, the charges were dropped. They're only getting the one that shot through the patio door. They ain't getting the ones that shot from the front. Because they know they ain't get no conviction on that. They know it. But I ask you, why? Why isn't that man sitting down there next to him? That's all I'm asking. You ain't gave me now one reason. You done made a bunch of excuses up, but you ain't gave me now one reason why that man not in the jail cell. Well, now you just made my point. So the officers that fired from the front door are not indicted. Only the one that shot from the patio was indicted. Right? So I say it again, if Kenneth Walker hadn't had that gun in his hand and hadn't fired that one shot, would Breonna Tayler still be alive? You ain't answered that question. You say I'm making it up. All right, Naya said, I just went and reread the article. Naya said, why did I say, I'm making up stuff as I go along. Why did I say their charges were dropped? The people asked for them to be charged, and they wasn't. Now you saying the redundant. She did because the officer shot her. They wouldn't have shot her if Kenneth Walker did not shoot first. And you keep glossing over that. You want to gloss over that. Why? I don't know. Didn't nobody get shot at the other two trap houses? What made this different? Kenneth Walker made this different. But you want to put it out. Kenneth Walker made this different. If she didn't have Kenneth Walker over there, she just would be sitting down. She would have been sitting down there with everybody else. Because they would have kicked the door in and she would have went, hey, and then locked up. search the house, and there you go. But nope, this man shot, which in return they shot. But you want to keep forgetting that. It's not important to you. It's redundant, as you say. That was the difference. And that's why I'm saying Kenneth Walker ain't the victim. He's the instigator. Even the reason that he gave was stupid. I thought it was the ex-boyfriend. I thought it would be some trouble. So why, if the ex-boyfriend's still coming around, why would you be in her bedroom, in her bed? That doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. If the ex-boyfriend is so big and bad, and he's still coming by there hitting it, why the heck are you there? You should have took her to your house, took her to a hotel, took her to mama's basement, something. Why are you laying up in the house that man come to get his drugs from? The man come to see his phone bill. The house that man come to see the lease on his car. The man who come there to get his mail. Why would you lay up in that house? That would be like a man dating a notorious drug dealer's girlfriend. The drug dealer get locked up. You gonna go move in that man's house while he locked up? What do you think gonna happen when he get out and find you in there? Shaq and his wife are divorced. What do you think if Shaq happened to come by and see his kids and found the man laying up in his house with his kids and ex-wife there? What do you think he gonna do? It's gonna be nice? Hey, how you doing there, bro? What you doing about? Hey, welcome. No. So why would you, as a grown man, sit in a woman's house whose ex-boyfriend was a known drug dealer, all his mail come there, packages for him come, and you sitting there in the bed? Ain't no way in the world. I'm sorry. Now you say I'm making up unknown facts. It is redundant. We looking at what contributed to it. What contributed to this happen? This is what I'm asking you. What contributed it? You only want to talk about the result. I want to talk about what contributed so that we can stop our young ladies from doing this. Because if it wasn't for her behavior, she would still be alive. And you want to gloss over it. It's the behavior. All right, y'all, Reg is back up. Now you saying I'm making up unknown facts. What did I say was unknown? What did I say was unknown? She live in that place with her sister. Her sister shouldn't have no man up in there with her there, and she shouldn't have no man up in there if she there. A man supposed to take you somewhere. Why would you give access to a man that can't even provide you a place to go? He got to come to your house. Explain that. Why do you? They sitting there laying in the bed. What do you think at 12 o'clock at night? He laying in the bed. What do you think? They just sitting on the bed. Hey, how you doing? No, he would be on the sofa. The front room. That's the furthest a man supposed to go in a lady's house is the living room. He ain't supposed to go no further. He ain't supposed to go no further than that living room. If you let a man go past your living room, you're a tramp. And I'm sorry. Man is not supposed to go past your living room. If you gotta go to the bathroom, the father supposed to keep watch in the house. Because a lady is not supposed to be out the house until she at least 26 years old. Supposed to be married. But don't nobody marry her by 26? Yeah. Might as well hang it up. There's a damn hill for women at 26. You know, hang it up. Ain't nobody coming. You said it's not 1920. It should be that way. This is what I'm talking about. See, y'all want to make the excuses for the value that are lost. It shouldn't be that way. It should not be that way. I know you done because you can't argue with that. If a man ain't got no place to take you, why would you go lay up with him? I'm just asking the question. Answer it. If a man can't even provide a place to take you, if he can't even take you out to dinner, if he can't even get you your weed or your drink, he could at least have a place for y'all to go. But he got to come over to your house and get in your bed? When you got all that drug stuff running through there, you would actually bring somebody in that house, knowing that your ex-boyfriend, the head of the cartel, come through there all the time, and you going to endanger somebody else's life by bringing that man in the house, and you want to make excuses. He had his own place. He should have took her there. Ain't no way in the world I'm going to sit up in the house where an ex-drug dealer used to live at. I'm looking for trouble. He even said out his own mouth. I thought it was the ex-boyfriend. I thought it was going to be some trouble. Why would it be trouble? Why would it be trouble, Naya? Because the ex-boyfriend's still hitting it, that's why. And he come by there and find that dude, he find Kenneth there, he gonna hurt him. That's why Kenneth got the gun. But you wanna excuse it. You wanna excuse it. Now you saying I'm not deflecting. We got the same thing I've been saying. You've been here for every video. I ain't changed the word. If she wasn't loose, if she wasn't trying to prove she was down, she'd still be alive. And I haven't changed on any of that. But you keep trying to say, yeah, if the man wasn't there, if she didn't have him there, she would be alive. She would be at work right now. She wouldn't be in the graveyard. And you want to try and change that. The man said so himself. I thought it was the ex-boyfriend at the door. I thought it was going to be trouble, so I grabbed my gun. If he wasn't still... If I'm done with a woman, but she's still handling my business, I don't care who sleep with her. Wait a minute. Well, we got flagged. Hold on. What happened? Wait a minute. What's going on here? Are we live? Naya says she can't change anything. No, I hope that I can change. I hope that the young ladies that might see this video whether it be a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I hope that they hear this conversation and they learn. If a man can't take you somewhere to lay with you, you should not be with that man. No man should be willing to go lay up in another woman's place. That's not appropriate. Especially if her ex-boyfriend is a daggone ex-drug dealer, cartel leader, got plenty of people that can kill you. Why the heck would you go lay up in the bed? Maybe Naya never been chased down the street. I have. I learned my lesson. When the dude came in there with an axe and chased me down the road, I learned my lesson, and many a men got a story to tell. Just like you had a protest in every state, almost, because every city got a story to tell. Every young man got a story to tell. You learn real quick. You don't go lay up in a woman's house. That's how you get caught slipping. And Kenneth Walker was slipping. He was slipping and dipping. He was slipping and he was a dipping. And got caught with his pants down. That's why he grabbed his gun. He was scared. And y'all want to make excuses. We ain't going to do no excuses here. Young ladies, if the man can't take you nowhere, he can't get you no motel room, he can't get you a spot in mama's basement, he ain't got no dorm room, he ain't got no place that he can take you to where your men that you mess with can't follow, you shouldn't go. Because a lot of y'all know y'all carrying 2 or 3 men, and y'all got the men fighting over you. Y'all know it. And you got one man taking care of your nails and your toes, another man paying the phone bill, another man paying it. Y'all know how y'all do it. Y'all got to keep the men separate. Keeping them separate means don't let them in the house. She says I'm making up information. This is what goes on in these cities every day. That's because you ain't seen it there. I know because I had to deal with it. Every woman I talk to, I assume she's talking to 2 other men. I assume it. And you got to be real careful as a man. Because when you try to go brag on your woman, somebody you bragging to might be saying, hey, that's my woman. And before you know, you getting hit in the back of the damn head. No, what I do? You with my damn Johnny? Liz said you shouldn't have seen. All right, then, Naya. She broke up with the cartel leader in January. And we in March, and she got a new man in her bed already. That speaks for her character right there. That speaks for her character right there, okay? But you want to gloss over that. But then you want to gloss over the fact that the man said he thought that it was the ex-boyfriend and that there might be trouble. Well, why would there be trouble? Because it's not even 2 months later and he laying in the bed with that man and his girlfriend like I done. Not even a mourning period, not even a get myself together period. She's like right back on the horse. She's right back in the saddle, baby. That's not enough time for somebody to get over somebody. So you say I'm assuming. I'm telling you what the man said. And we can look at what he said and break it down. Why was he scared? So even though the man had a baby mama, he must still have feelings for Breonna. Otherwise, why would he come by there at 12 o'clock at night and why would the boyfriend be scared? I've dated women that had children, and I've met the baby father. And I'll sit and talk with him. And if I see him looking at her like he want to hit it, I'm getting out of there. I don't even want to get involved. Because that'd be a dude to come kill you. If I get even a little incy, that he still got feelings for this woman, I'm not going to be the third wheel. I'm getting out of there. Because I'm going to be the one to get hurt.